This is another example how to find the domain of a function. In this case, I have here this super nice f of x, and I have this even nicer root in the denominator. So this is pretty similar, the procedure to solve this out, as the previous roots we have seen. But as this one is in the denominator, there's a bit change. It changes a bit. So I'm going to start by taking what's inside the root, this, and I'm going to write it in here. It'll be x minus 5 times x plus 4, and this has to be greater than 0. Notice something, here is a greater than 0, not a greater or equal. If we would accept the greater or equal like this, we will be implying that we could accept a 0 in any of these two factors. For example, if I would plug here a 5, what's in the denominator will turn as a 0, and we will get in return a division such as this one. That would produce an undefined situation, and that is really bad here in mathematics. So yet from here on, we could just proceed by doing something very similar to what we have done before. I'm going to equalize both of the factors to 0. It will be x minus 5 equal to 0. It will be x plus 4 equal to 0. Then we solve x in both cases. Here we have x equal to 5, and here we have x equal to negative 4. Here again, we're going to place these two values of x in this nice line that goes from negative infinite to infinite here on the right. I'm going to place, let's say, here the negative 4, and I'm going to place here the 5 here. Now we have to pick values for that goes from this interval from negative infinite to negative 4. I will take just the simplest one. I believe it will be negative 10. In between, from negative 4 to 5, I'm going to pick x equal to 0, and after that I'm going to use the x equal to 10 here. Now I'm going to substitute these values, these three values, this one, and this one. I'm going to substitute it in this statement here, and I'm going to see what happens. I'm just going to put it here right away. It's a negative 10 minus 5 times here negative 10 plus 4 greater than 0. Here we get negative 15 times, here we got a negative 6 be greater than 0. So basically we have again to see only the signs of this operation will be negative times a negative greater than 0, and we have to check it out. This negative times negative will produce a positive number, which will be indeed greater than 0. And this pass the test, and we include here this interval here. Now I'm going to proceed to do the same with the x equal to 0. I'm going to do it here. It will be 0 minus 5 times 0 plus 4 greater than 0. We get here a negative 5 times a positive 4 greater than 0. We got here a negative times a positive number. We have to just pay attention to this, to the signs here. So this negative times a positive, would it be greater than 0? No, it will not, because this was a number, this is a negative number here. This fails the test, and we do not include this interval here. We leave it just like that. Now I'm going to do this with the x equal to 10. Let's see. It'll be 10 minus 5 times 10 plus 4 greater than 0. Now we got here a positive 5 times a positive 16. I'm sorry, this is kind of ugly. Like this. And this we have here a positive number times a positive number, and in this case this will be obviously greater than 0, so we include this interval here. And finally, we have to include as well. I'm going to prove what happens with the -4 and +5 here in this expression here, just so you see what happens. I'm going to include it. Will be here the -4. Oh, sorry. Be yes, -4 minus 5 times here -4 plus 4. Is this greater than 0? Well, this number here, this term here, will be -9. But with this one, here comes a problem because it will turn into a 0. Now, is this greater than 0? Well, actually, well, it is not. We failed this test. In other words, we have to leave this -4 excluded. Just like this, we have here an uncolored circle here. So I'm going to do that same with the 5 here. I'm going to do it here. It will be 5 minus 5 times 5 plus 4. This is greater than 0. We get this term will produce a 0. This term will produce here a +9. But here, as this multiplication with a 0, this cannot be greater than 0 here. This will test will be failed, and we have to exclude the number 5 here. I'm going to exclude it just like this, giving here this uncolored circle. And when doing so, well, we just nearly done. We just have to write the domain of f just by looking at the graph. The domain of f would be from -infinite to -4, -4 with a parenthesis here because it's excluded, the -4. Then a union, then would be the +5 with a parenthesis here because the 5 is excluded, comma, infinite. We close the parenthesis and we're done.